Hello there, and good morning, and welcome to this semi-final match. Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, this is the semi-final match between Mablak and Rafka for CWT 2025. It's a bit of a silly hour to have a semi-final, but it is what it is. Yeah, so we'll just get this set up and get ready for the players. Hello, Triad, welcome. Right, let's get these guys a map. Need to find a good cavern map, as it's a semi-final, so we go cavern, cavern, island, island, cavern, cavern. Oh, that one looks pretty decent. Not the biggest fan of that terrain, but it's random, so we have to accept it. Oh yeah, actually, I can do... Hi Morgan, good morning. Guten Morgen. What does he mean, floors? What? I'll just do another 8. I have no idea what he means by floors. I've got no idea what he means by that. Diddly-di-di-di-dum. Right, so we can do this map. Right, here we go. Semi-final for CWT. This will be the last semi-final. Right, here we go. Right, so Mablak gets the first turn here. He's got a couple of piles here. Actually got quite a few potential piles, but so does Rafka. These 2 worms there, those 2 worms there. Yeah, it looks like it should be a double kill. Good solid start for Mablak. Oh no, it's not going to be a double kill. Oh well, actually it is going to be a double kill. The grave damage was just enough.
Yes, sir.
Right, so how can Rafka get this back? I mean, I suppose he could try and do something with these two worms here. That looks exactly like what he's going for. Could be possible to knock that worm over. He could have done with moving that a little bit more, to be honest. He could have done a harder knock. He's going to do another knock just to make sure. What? I feel like he just wasted a worm select there. No, he didn't. That's fine. He didn't get the double kill, unfortunately. He placed the dynamite in the middle of the worms. He wanted to place it on the side of the head to fly the worm and push the worm into the flames. Yeah, he could have done that a little bit better, but it's still not horrible. Looks like this could be another double kill for Mablak if he uses his cows. I imagine he would. This looks like the best situation to use cows. Oh, he's using 2 ropes here. Just to make sure that the cows lock in here. Yeah, this round is certainly flying so far. Hi, Ivani. Welcome. I mean, it could potentially be, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure here he wants to make sure he kills that worm with 24. Not sure why he chose to hide there, because that's an easy knock and a plop. It doesn't even need to knock now. Mablak can just throw a sheep down there. Really don't know why he decided to hide down there to take the shot. Mablak saying first worm would block the bullet. I'll need to test that out on TA. It looks like, yeah, if he shot from the left, but if he shot from the right, it should have worked. This could be another knock down towards this mine. It's just going to be a bazooka. Oh, he's sort of missed that a little bit.
I'll get you. Reinforcements have arrived.
Still, it is enough to get a kill with the sheep, I'm pretty sure. I think the sheep can do 71 damage. Can't remember what the maximum damage is for sheep. It is round about that though. Yeah, looks like it's a struggle for Rafka here in this round.
Quickly! You'll regret that!
Hmm.
You'll regret that! See ya! Yes, sir!
Oh, Mablak missed the parachute there. Did, however, nail it on the second attempt.
You had it coming! You had it coming! Yes, sir! Hurry up!
Yeah, going to be very, very, very difficult for Rafka trying to get back into this round here. Against a lot of other players, maybe he would have a chance, but against Mablak, not so sure.
Quickly! Revenge! Yes, sir!
He does have the higher ground there, though. I mean, I think at best Rafka would probably be trying to play for a draw here. It'd make a lot more sense than trying to play for the win for Rafka.
I'll get you! Just you wait!
Yeah, he got 23 damage on that last shot, but hey, it's enough. Doesn't really matter as long as the worm's under 50 HP. Yeah, the winner of this match will go ahead to the grand final to play Tade, while the loser will meet Abe God for the third place bronze final.
Quickly! What's this? Just wait, Buster! See ya! Yes, sir!
Yeah, I think he selected this worm because then it'll be worm 7 left and he can kill Elvis, which means that these two worms will secure this left side of the map. However, Mablak could block that worm in, which would prevent that.
you. Just you wait. So long. Yes, sir.
Right, so that was Rafka's last worm select. Pretty good knock. Now, pretty sure he has cows here. And if that's the case, I would imagine he would use them here. Yeah, he didn't do that right. Oh, 100 HP exactly, never mind. I didn't think it was going to do 100. I thought it was going to be in the lower 90s, but that works out well for him. Is Mablak going to use his last worm select? He is indeed. And he wants to use Elvis, because it looks like he wants to kill Agata while he still has the chance. Because after that worm, it would be Agata, and Agata would kill that worm, so he's able to get on it first. But imagine... Right, so that should knock onto the mine. Right.
You had it coming.
That's a slight problem for Mablak. Kind of needed that kill. Now, is he going to shoot the mine or just straight on the worm? Oh, he got it. That'll do nicely. Didn't think it was possible to get the worm to activate the mine after being in that position, but yeah. Nicely done. Right, so Rafka is stuck in there. So he will place a girder down to block worm 8.
Yes, sir.
Not sure what Mablak's doing here. Well, obviously he's going to try and open the girder, but I think he's just waiting. Actually, I can. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
A girder from Mablak to prevent Tom from doing more damage there. Tom could potentially throw a sheep down here. And if he gets lucky, I wonder if it could push the worm into the water there. However, he's not going to take that chance. Looks like he's going to teleport.
Quickly. Hurry up. Yes, sir.
Right, so Mablak connects his worms up here. Yeah, that's just too tight a gap to get through here.
Whoops. Yes, sir.
I would imagine Mablak will probably block here or somewhere around here just to prevent, or basically to save Elvis. Either a block or an open, one of the two I would imagine.
Come on. Get on with it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, now he needs to block worm 5 because that worm isn't getting it. It makes me wonder why
Yes, sir.
Rafka would go for that in the first place, because it was so obvious that Mablak would save that worm. And basically, Rafka's just wasted a girder that he could possibly need in future for defense. So rather than make an attempt at going for that worm and wasting a girder, he could have went with another plan to open up or prepare for sudden death, I suppose. I see that happen quite often in intermediate, specifically in cavern maps, roundabout in the second half. When players make an obvious attempt to kill a worm and it just gets blocked, and they just end up wasting resources that could potentially help them further on in the game. Sometimes players always go for the obvious choice, which is weird.
What was that? Yes, sir.
I'm unsure why Rafka has decided to open up that section. Like, I don't know what he's going to do from there. Maybe it's just to make sure that in case Mablak opens a path through, maybe he's got the... Maybe he's got it's open enough so that he can maybe throw a petrol or something to prevent Mablak getting all the way there. So yeah, Mablak has 4 worms at the moment. Rafka has 2. And we're less than a few minutes away from sudden death right now. So I feel like Mablak really just needs to get close enough to when sudden death happens, he can kill one worm with kamikaze, then the other with a homing missile at some point. It is interesting to see these two worms so close to each other. But then again, it is Yozzle's turn. Thinking here, is he going to open up here or? And this makes sense. He has two shotguns, and if he does it right, that will be... If he uses two more, he'll be able to backflip up there. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it went a little bit too far into the land. I'm pretty sure he's memorised the exact pixel, and it should be okay.
What was that? Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's enough for that worm to get up now.
Yes, sir.
Rafka could potentially kill two worms here with a kamikaze. Not that he would probably do that. But then again, is 1 versus 2 better than 2 versus 4?
How you doing?
He does have the opportunity to get a double kamikaze there. Maybe even a triple kill, actually, if that worm were to fly up there and get grave damage. I'm going to try that with TA. That is the move. If I was Rafka, that's exactly what I would do right now. Kamikaze, potentially getting a triple kill. I'm actually going to TA that. That's a very, very interesting... I want to drink your blood. Igor. Right, so at least Rafka's safe from kamikaze at the moment.
Yes, sir.
He still has the opportunity to do that. I am going to try that. If I was Rafka, that's what I would do. Because I don't think he has a chance playing sudden death. I just don't see him being able to kill off 4 worms, and I don't see Mablak not being able to get a kill with Kamikaze, and then a kill with Homing Missile. I mean, we'll see. Stranger things have happened. I'm very curious if that Kamikaze would work. Then again, it's actually a stupid idea, because if he'd done that, I'm forgetting the obvious. Even if that did work and he got a triple kill and it was 1 versus 1, he's just opened up a path for the other worm to get in and kill him. So yeah, not even though I think it would be a pretty cool turn, I was forgetting the obvious there and being very, very stupid. Now, Mablak has an advantage here because he knows how to count out shots with the bazooka. So if Mablak gets nice red wind pointing to the left, and Rafka keeps his worm here or anywhere up there, then Mablak will probably get a kill. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Rafka realizes that by now. I still want to see if that Kamikaze shot would work. I'm still going to try it, even though it wouldn't be useful for the game itself. I'm just curious to see if it has the right trajectory to get in there and get an extra kill with grave damage. So this is where maybe, will Mablak put a mine here so that he can open up in the next turn, or is he just going to straight up open? Yeah, it looks like he's just going to blow torch along here. So he's not going to fully open. I'm guessing he will put a mine down. Or it's enough to open with a single shotgun shot, so maybe he'll go in, open, and then kill another worm. Yeah, you're not going to reach that, Rafka. You can get up with parachute, though. So maybe Rafka is going to open up. No, he's going to girder. That is Rafka's last girder. So after this, he has no more defense. Well, he has petrol bombs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good open there from Mablak as well. He's created that same path without damaging his own worm.
Whoops.
Yeah, so this Mablak could just win here with a kamikaze if it explodes right in the middle. Double kill. It is possible, but I doubt he'll do it. It is slightly risky.
Get on with it.
Yeah, so he just needs to be patient here.
Whoops. Yes, sir. Up quickly. Slacker. Whoops. Yes, sir. Oh, come on. Yes, sir. Whoops. Yes, sir.
Yeah, looks like we just need to wait for the inevitable here. I know there's not much to talk about right now, but let's just sit back and wait. Yeah, I wondered when he was going to put this mine down.
Get on with it.
Yeah, Mablak, sorry, Rafka will probably want to try and push that mine away. Maybe he could aim a bazooka here, or set off a grenade there, or something, but the closer he is while he takes a turn means the less that he can get away. Now, he tried to get close enough to activate that mine. It's not going to work. So he just needs to. There's nothing he can do now. That'll probably be GG in the next turn.
Whoops.
Good idea from Rafka, and that's probably why Mablak made sure to place that mine as far away as possible.
Just you wait. So long.
It's not over until it's over. There it is. Mablak wins the first round here.
So long.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to head that way after the first two turns from Mablak. Right. Let's get the map for the second round done. That's not enough. And that's too low. Well, that looks decent. Yeah, there is actually a couple of kill zones there, so we'll try and avoid that. Yeah, that's better. Right, let's go then. Round 2. Here we go. Right, let's have a look. So obviously Rafka gets the first turn here. That's not good for Rafka at all. Really good opportunity there though, but he can't get to those worms. He's got this worm here as well. I would say Mablak got the favourable positions here, but to be honest, not really. Mablak's got 5 worms cut off here.
Ow.
Yeah, I would say that's the right move for Rafka to do as well, because he gets a lot of damage and it opens up those free worms, so Now that Rafka's done that, I'd say that Rafka's got superior positions now after that turn. Mablak does still have 3 worms over here that can do a lot of damage in 2 turns. There's these 3 worms here for Rafka, and Rafka needs to do something about that, otherwise he could potentially lose all 3 of those worms very quickly. Looks like Mablak's going to push that worm down there.
You had it coming. Missed. Reinforcements have arrived.
Has used 2. Oh, Rafka.
See ya.
Oh, not good for Rafka.
You nuts.
Oh, that was his own fault there. Well, in the chat he's saying this is getting irritating more and more, but he only has himself to blame for that turn there.
Just you wait. See ya. I'll get you. Reinforcements have arrived.
I mean, to be honest, Rafka had a lot of things he could have done there. If I was in that position, what I would have done with Rafka is ignore those worms in the middle, right? I would have used a lot of resources, but because Mablak has all these worms on there... Oh, so 2-0 to Mablak. Well, I wasn't expecting that to go down so fast, but it is what it is. Right. So, for those of you just joining us here, welcome to the semi-final. Hasn't been that long yet, but we're on the third round already, and Mablak gets the first turn here. He's got a lot of saving to do here. He's got a lot of, like, Rafka could get a couple of free kills here if Mablak doesn't save these worms. Oh, he didn't get the mine, but still not horrible.
Yes, sir.
See, if Rafka was good enough with the rope, he could get a free kill here by knocking that worm out and then going away to get another kill. So Rafka could definitely get at least a double kill here.
Hurry up. How you doing?
I'm guessing he's going to go for D and just kill Cagley bejesus.
Take that.
Yeah, I would do a hard knock on Gunk actually there. If you do a soft knock, then the worm's probably going to slide all the way into the water. If you do a hard knock, the worm will come out, the parachute will deploy, and with the wind, the worm can land safely. I will, however, show that using TA after the game. Because what I like to do is... major damage from Mablak there.
Gotcha. Reinforcements have arrived.
Two of them and one of them. Wait, what? One left and three left, right.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yeah, I would like to see Rafka win at least one round, to be honest. But I feel like he's not choosing the right moves here. He has opportunities that he just keeps missing, in my opinion. Like, he could have left that basketball, he could have left that baseball kill for later. He's not focused on how easily it is to knock. Like, Mablak can kill two worms here. He didn't get the double kill, but he got a kill and a lot of damage.
I'll get you. So long.
See, this is like... Rafka is a very, very, very good player against pretty much all other players. But when he comes to playing Mablak, Rafka just doesn't have the right technique. He relies too much on the fundamental aspects of intermediate. He relies too much on the strategy alone as opposed to seeing opportunities and taking those opportunities in terms of things like advanced rope knocking skills, jetpack skills, stuff like that. I don't see him taking these opportunities.
Just wait, Buster.
Instead of going for kills, he's doing turns that do little damage. Instead of going for that easy free kill at the start of the match, he didn't go for that. And even though Rafka had Mablak had first turn, but Mablak's well ahead on pace here. I feel like if Rafka ever wants to have a chance at beating Mablak, he needs to really up his game with the more risky, creative moves. He needs to learn how to rope knock properly. He needs to learn how to push mines and pile worms and stuff like that. I mean, Rafka is a very, very solid player, but against a player like Dario or Chuvash or Mablak, it's just not enough. You need to be better than just the fundamentals.
Just you wait.
Being able to use shotgun most turns and do 50 damage per turn is just not enough. You need to try going for multi-kills and piling worms together and forcing the other team to use their utilities before you and stuff like that. And I don't really see Rafka doing stuff like that. Because the trick is Mablak's just so good at creating opportunities to get maximum damage with minimum investment. And when I say minimum investment, I mean using as little inventory as possible. And this is what I mean, like Rafka's had to use 2 ropes here because he's not very good at rope knocking. However, he did get on his second attempt here. But I'm now wondering, why did he not use cows there to make sure he got the kill?
Revenge. Yes, sir.
He used 2 ropes there as well, when he could have got the job done with 1. He used the wrong weapon, in my opinion, leaving a worm alive. Had he got that kill and done that turn properly, he'd be in a much better position. I mean, on the plus side of not killing that worm, at least there's not a plot hole there for these 2 worms to go into. So maybe it worked out for the better. But we'll say this, Rafka does have a chance in this round.
Yes, sir.
If he can knock this worm down, he could potentially get a kill. Is he going to low gravity fire punch here? A grenade? What?
You'll regret that.
Why is he using a grenade there?
Saved.
I wonder, maybe a low gravity fire punch could have worked there to kill that worm, I don't know. But, Yeah. I reckon he could have done a lot better there. I think maybe the reason he used grenade is because he was hoping this worm would pile that worm. He just misjudged it. Now, he could have hid over here and used the sheep. Nice skunk there from Mablak.
Whoops. Reinforcements have arrived.
Very nice skunk from Mablak, actually. Right, so yeah, I mean, I was thinking if Rafka could get up here, he could shoot that worm down there, but how is he going to get up here? Is there enough room there to get up? Yeah, there is. Oh. No, there's not. There's not enough room for him to get up there.
Quickly. What was that?
He had a plan, but nope. Things are not looking good for Rafka. Could be a clean sweep here from Mablak. And I've just seen, like, in the first round and the second round, Rafka's blaming the positions, etc., and he's not taking accountability for the fact that he's choosing to do the wrong things in those situations.
Yes, sir.
In the first round, Mablak got a double kill on the first turn, then a double kill on the second turn, but Rafka could have used his worm selects and saved the worms, or at least one worm, in the previous, in the second turn that Mablak killed. He could have made that all happen a little bit differently.
Ow. Traitor.
Now, I think Mablak used low gravity there, and he did.
Reinforcements have arrived.
But yeah, in the second round, I personally think that Rafka didn't have horrible positioning there. I think his positioning was okay, considering how many worms Mablak had blocked off on the left side of the map. I just feel like, well, Rafka shot himself, and then he started blaming the map and the positions again, and he had plenty of opportunities, I think.
Get on with it.
Is this going to be napalm?
Come in, Big Bird.
Yeah. Not the best napalm there.
I'll get you. Reinforcements have arrived.
Yeah, both worms have used all. Both players have used all their worm selects as well.
Yes, sir.
An interesting round this. Rafka does actually have chances in this round, to be fair. He has more worms. He has more inventory. I mean, Mablak has 2 rope. Rafka has 1 rope and a jetpack. Okay, Morgan, you take care, buddy.
So long.
I am pretty confident that the final will be held at a much more appropriate hour, probably in the evening GMT, as it looks like, well, my money's on Mablak to win this match anyway. But yeah, if Mablak wins, then it probably will be an evening GMT grand final. Right, Rafka using his jetpack and parachute. He knows he doesn't want to, he's not going to use his rope. Is he actually using his bungee here?
Quickly.
What?
Yes, sir.
Well, that was a waste of a jetpack, a parachute, and a bungee, and a teleport. Now Rafka only has a rope. That was an incredibly short-sighted move from Rafka. Just when you think he's actually potentially got a chance in this match, I feel like that has ruined his chances because now he doesn't have a jetpack to rely on. All he has left is 1 rope. And he's got too many worms in positions where he needs a utility to traverse the map. He can't get out here. So, what is he planning on doing?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that is his best chance, to be honest. Bring all his worms together. Force Mablak to come to him, I suppose. I really, really don't like the way that Rafka's played these rounds, though.
Ow. Just you wait. See ya. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're still roughly 3 minutes away from sudden death. Yeah, I don't know why Rafka thought he could reach up there.
What was that? Yes, sir.
I mean, who knows? Rafka does have a chance, because this looks like it's going to go to sudden death, and if sudden death happens on the right turn, Rafka could pull this. And I have to be honest, I kind of would like to see him win at least a round. I mean, to get this far in the tournament and then get spanked 3-0 can't be a very good feeling. And it's no surprise Mablak's going for this worm here.
I'll get you. So long. Ow.
Well, that wasn't good from Mablak. Now this worm is really easy to kill. Yeah, Rafka actually has a chance here. Mablak has no worm select. He can block Tom though. But then if I was Rafka, I would make my way round here, use a rope to get back round here, kill that worm and hide in here again. That's what I would do if I was Rafka. He can go that way, can't he? If he can, that's what I would do if I was Rafka. I would make my way all the way down here. All the way here. Or actually, no. Jump over there, over there, over there, up there. Connect the rope there. Connect the rope there. Drop a sheep down there and hide back in here. And he's not going to do that, so that'll make it even easier for Rafka. Now, what's the sudden death timer like?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if Rafka can kill Shark Attack on this move, he's got a really good chance. Surely he's going to go for that kill. He has to go for that kill. If he gets this kill, he's got a fighting chance here. As Mablak himself only has one rope.
How you doing?
Why did he drop in there? Jesus.
What are you, nuts?
I don't understand why he did it like that. I really don't. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that and leave yourself vulnerable there? Now you can just get an airstrike and get like, what? He could have done that without saving his rope. He did not. He could have just thrown a grenade in there. He could have stood here and thrown a grenade in there to get the kill. Like, really easy. Right, so Mablak can just notch out a petrol bomb here. Oh!
You wait. Yes, sir.
He gets lucky though. Rafka gets very lucky there. Right, now what Rafka wants to do is either block that worm off there or block his own worm off so that worm survives. I would probably block Corn Toe Joe because I'm pretty sure it's either... So the next turn... Why?
Ow. Ow.
Ah.
Ow.
Yeah. But, so... Now, here's the thing. It's either going to be sudden death in the next turn or the next again. So is this going to be lucky for Rafka or not? And it's not.
Yes, sir.
This is why he should have blocked Corn Tojo, which is what I was suggesting. Now, Mablak does still have a rope. So he should be able to get this double kill. Actually, is he? Maybe he's just going to block. Because I don't see him being able to get the double kill from this position. Unless he... I'm very surprised. I really thought Mablak would have pulled that off, but... okay. I'm quite happy for Rafka in this situation. I have no idea how Mablak fumbled that there. No idea whatsoever. But hey, at least we have another match round. I can't believe he won it either. Right. Right, so we'll take a break for 3 or 4 minutes. So yeah, we'll see you in about 3 or 4 minutes. We're going to have a little break, so yeah, get yourself a refreshment or whatever. See you soon. Yeah, we're just waiting for Rafka to come back and then we will get the next round prepared. Let's prepare a map anyway while we're waiting. Oh. Oh, that looks nice. You like it? Right, let's go. Would be pretty cool to see this go 2-2. Right. Right, so Rafka gets the first turn in this round. So maybe he can get himself ahead here. So he's got a nice easy kill there, a nice easy kill there. He could knock that worm down there, dynamite, and knock both those worms down here with quite a decent bit of damage. He's got a lot of options to start off with here. He could he could baseball bat that worm. Or dynamite that worm over, and then he's still got a low gravity baseball bat to kill Shark Attack or Yargenton. Well, he can actually kill this worm with just a mine. But he's going to play it safe and use that.
Yes, sir.
Right. Nothing wrong with playing it safe. This is what I mean, like, I wish Rafka would learn some of the more creative strategies. He really needs to learn how to do mine hats and dynamite hats, because The baseball bat in Islands is a very useful weapon. He could have got that kill easily with a mine. Saving the baseball bat for another worm. But he still got a kill. And he didn't really use much in his turn, so there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I'll get you.
That was a really, really nice turn from Mablak there. If he had got the kill on Worm 7, that would have been really good, because then it would have helped open up Elvis a little more. Rafka probably going to use a Worm Select here. And not, so that's okay. I would probably, if I was Rafka, I would place the dynamite on this worm to get the long kill. Yeet that worm into the sea. Oh wait, that doesn't, is that going to work? Ah, horrible placement from Rafka. On the plus side, he does sort of get a pile. Well, very, very poor placement from Rafka there. That should have been a really, really, really easy kill.
I'll get you.
This could be a nice double kill on the mine below.
Just you wait.
Okay, didn't do what I thought it was going to do, but I think Mablak was hoping to get that mine as well. Now he's left Shark Attack directly vulnerable to that mine below.
Quickly.
Alright, good solid kill there from Rafka.
Reinforcements have arrived.
I would probably imagine Mablak killing this worm. Low gravity baseball bat, maybe? Or he could knock a gat. Nah, that's too much of a knock. I see what he's trying to do here. Unfortunately, he wanted this worm to get grave damage on that worm. By the looks of it, really, really not sure why Mablak went for a bow and arrow there. Especially when he's behind on pace right now, he needed to do something more than that. Really, really surprised by Mablak's choice here now. That doesn't look like something Mablak would normally do. Right, so Rafka's using his last worm select here. Why?
You'll regret that. Quickly.
Jump over to the other side.
Ow.
Questionable, but I suppose he got the job done. I still reckon, like, if I was him, I would have used a rope knock to knock the worm down and then use a sheep. And then that way, he probably could have killed that worm. But he is ahead on pace. It's not bad by any means. If Rafka can keep this pace, especially with Mablak struggling here, if Mablak gets this kill, I will be super impressed if that's a double bounce into the water. Jesus Christ, he almost got it. Wow.
Yes, sir.
That was a very nice attempt. Very nice attempt. And I guarantee that that's actually possible. I know for a fact that that was actually possible. The execution was just not accurate enough.
You'll regret that. See ya. Yes, sir.
Nah. Would you like to place a bet? I know for an unequivocal fact that that's possible. He needs to do the rope knock right to get into the right position, and then it's possible. Very, 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 very challenging, but definitely possible. If he had done the rope knock into a slightly better position, like slightly closer, then that would have worked. But what I'm talking about, you need to do the setup correctly as well. Not just the mind. You need the setup properly as well. Right, so that was that, and that was that. Well, he did do a rope knock in order to set it up. What I mean is, if he had done the rope knock a little bit differently. No, what I'm saying is, when Mablak did that turn, he did do a rope knock and then he used the mine. What I'm saying is, he needed to adjust his rope knock a little bit in order for that to work.
Hello.
I did! That's what I just said a minute ago. That's what I meant when I said he needs to do the rope knock differently in order to get the setup right. That's what I meant when I said get the setup right.
Wait for it. You had it coming.
That was weird. What?
Yes, sir.
What? He needs the pile. wondering why. The rope knock was included in the setup. How is that not obvious? The setup isn't possible without a rope knock.
Ow! I'll get you!
Like, I'm talking about the entire turn, not just the mine. I'm curious also.
Yes, sir!
Baseball bat could have worked as well, actually. Baseball bat actually might have. Because if you look at that, baseball bat has the power to knock the worm off the first wall, off the second wall, and then down, rolling in. That's going to be a very interesting one to TA. Because Mablak hasn't used his baseball bat yet. Then again, that's a very, very, very risky turn, but I just like seeing the things that are possible. Good morning, Dr. Abe God.
I'll get you!
It's been quite interesting here. It actually looked like Mablak was going to win 3-0. And then Rafka managed to somehow win the third round. And now Rafka is ahead on pace here in the second round. This could possibly be a reverse sweep here that we're seeing. Because it looks like Rafka's going to win this round if he keeps this up.
Ow!
Very nice rope knock there.
Revenge! Traitor!
Why did he do that instead of what? I really thought he would have sacrificed his worm to kill those two worms there.
Quickly!
But okay. Like, I really, really genuinely thought that he was going to use cows there.
Traitor!
But then again,
So long!
no need, this actually works. Yeah, well done.
I'm dead meat!
I didn't realise that other worm had such low health.
See ya!
That's actually better because he saves his cows.
Reinforcements have arrived!
Yeah, I saw the grave damage, I just thought the other worm had more health. I thought the other worm was going to survive, but... Interesting. This would be really impressive if Rafka manages to beat Mablak. As much of a Mablak fan I am, it's always nice to see the underdog pull off a win. Five worms versus two, I really don't see Mablak winning this round now.
I'll get you!
Only 19 damage there.
Quickly! Hurry up!
This is the 4th round. Oh, he's going to go for the bat bank here. Nice. The power of the bank.
Yes, sir.
I love seeing banks in this. You don't really see them employed very often. Sorry, Rafka does still have his cows, does he not? Yes, he does. So he can definitely kill. He's probably going to knock Cagley and use cows on Cagley. Oh, maybe he's not going to use cows on Cagley then.
You'll regret that.
Unsure why he didn't, but where's the bat bank tutorial? You don't really need a tutorial for it. It's pretty straightforward, I imagine. You just need to have a good eye and experience, really. Once you it's one of those things where you just need to try it a few times in order to grasp how the physics work. Like, how much power the worm loses in the velocity that they travel at on each collision into a part of the land. Once you've done it a few times, you sort of just get the idea for it. I mean, there's no real tutorial on how to do it. I mean, I suppose
Yes, sir.
maybe it exists in a general tutorial that just, like, tips and tricks. That's actually a good idea. I'm going to write that down. Like, make a little general tips and trick video on useful things that people don't. Like, you can push mines with the jetpack, you can bank worms off, you can do ghost grenades and stuff. So maybe a general tips and tricks video for intermediate. I've wrote a few ideas down there, so yeah, I could look into doing that in the future.
Hello.
Gotta be something aim with baseball bat, kind of like shotgun, like the start of the bat. Not sure exactly what you mean by that, but it's usually when you aim, you have to aim a little bit, like one or a few notches above the trajectory that the worm is actually going to take. Probably more likely due to velocity drop.
You had it coming.
Kind of like if you've ever played Boom Race and you compare hitting yourself with a bazooka compared to hitting yourself with a homing pigeon. The homing pigeon, you always aim up a little bit from the trajectory that your worm's actually going to travel. It's just one of those things that you get used to after doing a few times.
Whoops. Yes, sir.
I actually did write out some tips for intermediate in the CWT Discord recently. It was more like, let me search. Did I? No. What words did I actually use?
Yes, sir.
There we go.
You had it coming.
Yeah. So I wrote a little thing in CWT about a month and a half ago. So I wrote that these are fundamental skills I feel like every intermediate player should know. Some are pretty good at most of them already, but I've seen so many situations where knowing these skills would win games. Practice rope, flagpole and knocking skills for about 5 to 15 minutes a day. This is such a massive fundamental skill you could learn within months to comfortably traverse entire maps with ease for those end game winning turns, as well as other situations. Ghost grenade skills, where your worm is inside the other worm in order to drop a grenade to achieve a specific angle of flight. Battle race skills, basically learn all the jumps and master them. Battle race skills are absolutely crucial in this scheme, and a lot of players could do with learning a lot more and be a lot more confident. Bungee rope skills, which includes bungee rope knocks, mine knocking with jetpack and also jumping into mines to knock them. Learn and practice high wind bazooka full power shots on cavern maps and memorise the angles. Honestly, so many rounds could be won with that skill. There's no RNG to it either. All high powered wind can reach the other side of the map with 100% repeatability. How to curve homing missiles around the top corners of cavern maps, underwater, and master and homing missile curve shots in general. Surprisingly, people keep missing easy petrol bomb shots, so make sure you practice those. Learn how to properly place mine and dynamite hats. And mid to long range shotgun skills. We see too many players missing shots that they could definitely hit if they practiced a little bit more. There's actually that specific shotgun training in the game. I can't remember. It's one of the training things you do, but there's a shotgun specific one.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I think the main thing that I feel like players need to do is take more risks. There aren't a lot of players who do a lot of the creative outside the box moves, but there are a few who have been quite impressive this year. Mega Adnan and Diego98 in particular. Those are two players who I see who are pushing the boundary. They're taking shots that other players consider a risk, but they're a calculated risk. And if you practice them enough, you'll be good enough to actually win games. And I feel like you're never ever... Like, I hear people saying, oh, you could be as good as Mablak, but why would you want to be as good as Mablak? Surely you would want to be better than Mablak. It's like, no, I don't want to be the next Mablak. I want to be the first me. You know, you want to set the bar higher, and you're never going to set the bar higher unless you start forcing yourself to do things where people consider it risky. But that's the whole point. It's risky because you lack confidence, and you only get confidence from practice. You keep failing and failing and losing until you're good enough that you can do it accurately without failure. And then you can win, because now you're good at it and you can do something that other players can't, because you've spent countless hours practicing. And you don't really see that a lot these days. Players rely on things. That was very, very unfortunate for Mablak that that opened now. So yeah, Rafka should definitely get the win here. Unfortunately, that worm opened up to Mablak. That was very unfortunate, but... So I stream in 1080p, but I play on 1152x864 when it comes to default schemes. Right, so the score is 2-2. So yeah, we'll take another 2 or 3 minute break. Yeah, really interesting series here. So we're going to go into the 5th round here. It's 2-2 and it'll all be caverns again. So yeah, this could go either way. What was looking for a very comfortable sweep for Mablak. There's now a chance for a potential reverse sweep. Anyway, we shall take a break for a couple of minutes. Let me just find a song to put on. SoundForge. Oh, I'm on about SoundForge. There we go, that's what I want. Right. Thanks for the follow. What was that song I was looking at before? You know what? I haven't had this one for a while. Here's my old Worms Armageddon drum and bass Angry Scott remix, which, fun fact, was actually featured on an official Team 17 stream when they were making the Worms WMD game. Anyway, we'll be back in a few minutes. Enjoy. That was actually perfect timing. Right there, Rafka messages is back. So we'll do the usual 8 clicks, and then we shall get a map for these guys and get on with the 5th round. We're on a decider now. It's very exciting. Oh. Oh, that's a nice map. Right, we'll see if they agree. So yeah, Mablak will be getting the first turn. So we'll wait and see if the guys like this map, or if we need to get another one. I will just keep picking random maps like this until they both agree on one. Surely, that's a really... Basically, Rafka wants a map where it's impossible to get a plop on the first turn. But they're pretty much all like that. They've all got like little weak spots. Now we just need to keep trying until they're both happy with the map. Nah, because if worms are shut off in there... Nah, that's way too open on the left. Come on, give me the map. Yeah, there's too many bits that are at the bottom there in that one, so we can't use that. Sometimes it's really annoying to find a good map. That, however... I mean, I understand Rafka's paranoia because he gets the second turn, so he's thinking in his mind, if he has the second turn and there's any worms down there, he's probably going to get plopped. Right, we've agreed on this one. Right, looks like we've agreed on the map, so all that's left to do is light up and let's get going. Well, looks like Rafka will be happy with that. Rafka's got the superior positions here, but Mablak has first turn, so he's going to need to save Shart Attack. Actually, Shart Attack's fine, because all he needs to do is... Well, I thought, well, Shart Attack might die in the first one, but... I like that. Then he can kill those two worms in another turn. I mean, I don't think, like, these are good positions for Rafka, and not really the worst positions for Mablak either, to be honest. Yes, he knew that the worms would pile like that after the dynamite. This is Mablak you're talking about, remember? Everything Mablak does is pretty much calculated. He's one of the best players in the world, overall. Statistically speaking, he is the best overall player in the world. I mean, if you play intermediate for even a couple of months, something like Mablak's first turn makes sense because he places it a little bit to the left of the mine. The worm. So he knows that that worm's going to fly up and then bounce and go back. And he knows that the radius of explosion is going to keep the other worm in place, which is why the probability of them being piled is so high.
I'll get you. Get on with it.
I suppose it's kind of like a magician's trick. When you know how it's done, it's not quite as impressive sometimes. Don't get me wrong, all these players do quite a lot of impressive things, but that one there, in my opinion, was pretty standard.
You'll regret that.
Yeah, not a lot going on here at the moment, just lots of shotgun exchange. Let me just double check. Rafka has indeed used, how many ropes have they used? None. Mablak 1. Yeah, they haven't really used much yet. I mean, like, the pile that he got was, like, really perfect. Like, I feel like he calculated it so the worms both ended up just piled close enough together so that in the following turn he could at least kill with, like, a sheep or something. Like, them actually being piled perfectly next to each other, that was pretty good, I suppose. But the other worm could have ended up in that little ditch where Penguin is right now. So at the moment, Mablak is still leading on pace here. And you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see double cows here. Like, I would activate this mine first. Yeah. It doesn't need to do double cows, I suppose. He can just kill that with a mine. Oh, wow. Ah, he should have used a grenade in my opinion, but that's one thing that Rafka really needs to pay attention to, is where he's placing these mines. I've seen that way too many times from Rafka, where he goes for a plot like that and he places the weapon in just a slightly wrong place. Like you saw in the other round where he put the mine and he killed the other worm and almost killed himself. You just saw it there. He'd done it a couple of times in his previous match with Abe God as well. And these are mistakes that he can't afford to make. He could have had that worm dead. Like, that's why I would have stood where Mablak is and put one cow that way and one cow that way. That way it would have killed one worm and done over 50 damage to the other worm. Now, instead, Mablak just steamrolls ahead in pace.
Ow! Revenge! Ow! Revenge! Yes, sir!
This is going to be an interesting round, though. due to the worms that are blocked off in the positions. Mablak is currently ahead on pace, but that could easily change over the next 2 or 3 turns. What we'll do though is I'm going to put a prediction up, seeing as this is the deciding round. Well, potentially. It's a match point round for both players, but it could be a draw. So what we'll do is we'll do a prediction. Who do you think will win this round? Do you think Mablak will win? Do you think Rafka will win? Or do you think it'll be a draw and we'll put 5 minutes on the clock? Right, 5 minutes on the clock now. So who do you think will win? Mablak, Rafka, or do you think it'll be a draw? It's a very close match right now.
I'll get you.
Nice turn there from Mablak.
So long.
I like how he got the kill, the position, and connected these 3 worms to each other.
How you doing? I'll get you.
Very, very, very important round for both players here. Whoever wins this round,
Yes, sir.
or whoever wins the next round, because it could be a draw, but whoever wins the next round goes to the final. Mablak is the defending champion. He won CWT last year. Say Mablak won in 2023 and 2024, so he's looking to make it 3 in a row this year. And this is as close as anybody has been to beating Mablak in the last 3 years, basically. Oh, he's missed. Oh, he's not missed. He's bloody red. I'm talking out my arse. Yeah, but good skunk there from Mablak. That'll take care of D.
Yes, sir.
Still early enough in the round for that.
Revenge. Revenge! Yes, sir! Just you wait! Get on with it! Just you wait!
I like that last jump.
Yes, sir!
Very, very close round here. Very close round. Now, I wonder.
Get you!
So Elvis is next for Mablak.
I'll get you! I'm dead meat! Damn! Yes, sir!
Well, maybe. If Mablak can connect all these worms to each other, then it's a safety net for Mablak there. Mablak is definitely a superior sudden death player. He has certain mechanics that Rafka doesn't know. One of the simplest and most effective is he knows how to count bazooka shots. He knows how to count in B and G, which means he knows how to shoot the bazooka so it's a pixel perfect shot, essentially. And that is basically like having infinite homing missiles wherever the right wind applies. Rafka doesn't know how to do that. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me to see Mablak preparing for sudden death now. Because it's a losing battle on the left side here.
Ow! Revenge! Ow! Revenge! See ya! Yes, sir!
Yep, this is definitely going to sudden death. Mablak still has a lot of utilities left. Yeah, there was no way that he could kill Yozzle.
What was that? Yes, sir. Achoo!
They both have one worm select, so I'm curious, will Mablak try and prevent Rafka from killing Yozzle? Because he could block. Aye, so he is going to use his worm select, it looks like. He will select Yozzle the Whip and... Could potentially get the kill on D. If not, he could block to prevent that. Yeah, that's what I thought he was maybe going to do, is block those worms off so that Yozzle can survive and get an attempt at D.
Yes, sir. Quickly. I'll get you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the perfect opportunity for Mablak to use his worm select now.
I'll get you. Get on with it.
So it looks like it's going to be a 4 versus 4 sort of fort.
Yes, sir.
And judging by the... It kind of looks like it could potentially be a draw. Because I don't see Rafka being brave enough to invade Mablak. However, Mablak has higher chances of winning because once the worms... Mablak has by far the superior side for sudden death here. Rafka doesn't really have a lot of places to hide, so once the water level gets to about here, Mablak's sitting a lot more comfortably than Rafka. And Rafka will probably have to hide his worms
Yes, sir.
in positions that are easy for Mablak to shoot above the map with a bazooka, hitting any one of these points.
Yes, sir.
To be honest, I'm not really sure the skunk is actually important at all. Maybe important that it prevented Rafka from teleporting that worm out to save it, but we're going into sudden death within the next few turns anyway. I can't I can see the sudden death clock, but I can't share it yet. But we're definitely going to be seeing sudden death quite soon. So that worm is probably always going to be 1 HP anyway. But the skunk was a potential deterrent. So sudden death now.
Yes, sir.
Right. So sudden death appears on Mablak's turn. Oh, that was close. He needs to be careful here. Yeah, he'll connect these worms here. Alright, this is where it's going to get very exciting.
Yes, sir.
So looking at the inventories, mobility-wise, Rafka has a jetpack, which could be useful. He has plenty ropes as well. Mablak still has plenty ropes as well, so they both have low gravity as well. So utility-wise, they're both sitting healthy.
Whoops.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Mablak's already used 2 of his girders already.
Watch this.
Hey, thanks for the follow. Hope you're enjoying this semi-final here. This is a close one.
Yes, sir. Hurry up.
If Rafka had strong red wind, the mine would blow the barrow up, open a path, and open up that so he could get down. But with that wind, it's not gonna work as good. They've both used 1 teleport each. They should both have 1 each left. Yes, they both have 1 teleport each remaining. So as I thought, Rafka wasn't brave enough to go with the invade. Mind you, he didn't really have the best wind for it. It wouldn't surprise me to see Mablak go up here. I don't see any. Is he going to use a rope to get up here, or is he just going to teleport? I'm thinking teleport's more useful. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to see him kill one of the worms with a telecide. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking he was going to do something like that. 3v3 is much better for Mablak than 4v4. Because with 3 versus 3, players can kill each other with a homing missile. They've got one kamikaze as well.
Yes, sir.
I mean, Mablak could actually potentially kill a worm in the next turn. It's definitely possible, but very, very risky, and he won't do it, but there is a kill that you could get in the next turn. Possible to kill, but would leave him in a really stupid, horrible position, so it won't happen. Yes, that's true. Gamel Sock.
Yes, sir. Come on. Whoops. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, it can potentially be a draw, but my money is still on Mablak because he has the advantage of being an exceptional B&G player. It's quite humorous to me because I would still kick Mablak's ass up and down all day, every day at B&G, but he's still pretty much better than almost everybody else in the world at B&G. Especially in these schemes where you can just count out your shots, like, easy. And it's like, I cannot stress enough how important a skill B&G is in Intermediate to have. Especially when, like, if you learn how to count out your shots with Bazooka, how more deadly it makes you in sudden death and cavern matches. Just having that extra tool that can pretty much guarantee a kill when the worms are at the right height to shoot bazookas over. Because if you're not aware, you can shoot weapons outside the map that come back over the top and will explode on the barrier. And we all know it's a pixel-perfect game with repeatable wind, so if you know how to aim the bazooka, you can get guaranteed kills. And that is what I feel like is potentially going to give Mablak the win here. If he gets the right wind at the right time, but Rafka just cannot escape it. Looking at the hides here, Mablak has a lot more land in here than Rafka. Rafka does have this nice thick block here for one worm. Hello there, Vexor. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're enjoying the match. Got here just in time to see the possible conclusion of today's match. It could still be a draw, we could still see another round. But these are the situations that Mablak excels in. Yep, Worms Armageddon, the legend lives on. We are the descendants of Boggy B. Yeah, if you're interested, this is a once-a-year event that happens. It starts every September. CWT, which is Crespo's Worms Tournament, usually round about 24 to 32 players enter. There's a group stage and then playoffs, and this is the semi-final. This is the second semi-final. Tade versus Abe God was the other semi-final where Tade won there. So the winner of this will go into the final, the grand final, against Tade. And the loser, which will go into the third place bronze final against Abe God. Right, so this is where it's going to be interesting. Now Mablak has access outside. No, the final won't be today. So after this match is finished, what will happen is whoever goes to the final will go to the final, then the two players in the final need to communicate with each other to decide when they're both available to play.
What was that? Yes, sir.
And if by any means you don't actually manage to catch the grand final, it will be available on the YouTube channel. Have I actually got a link for my own YouTube channel here? No, I don't. I need to actually make one.
Yes, sir.
Gonna make that now.
What was that?
Right, let's see if this works. There we go. I don't know why I haven't done that but now, but yeah, I upload all the... You'll actually find quite a lot of nice stuff there. There's some tutorials. There are probably what people most enjoy are the podcasts, which myself and Mablak have been doing with important players in the game, including two of the developers, Deadcode and Cybershadow. So if you're interested in watching podcasts, there's a lot of fun stuff on there. There are also some previous important matches of competitive Worms Armageddon, previous semi-finals, grand finals, exhibition matches, etc. Yes, Ruffled Bricks. Yes, we had Ruffled Bricks on twice, actually. We done a podcast interviewing Ruffled Bricks, and then he came on as a guest co-host so that we could do a Mablak podcast. Oh, I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Is that within the radius to get a double kill? I don't know if that is actually within range. But he has really nice wind right now. Yes, Ruffled Bricks is a DJ. He actually DJs music that I enjoy and some music that I actually make myself. Like, I do... This is what I'm talking about by counting out your shots. So this is Mablak counting out the shot which will probably hit over here somewhere. Yes, he was notching, but more specifically counting out the notches. And he actually missed, so he's clearly a little bit rusty. So, we'll explain this. So there's three things that go into it. So, a notch is the smallest incremental movement that you can make while aiming. So if you literally just tap the arrow button, it'll move one notch. Everybody notches. It's impossible not to. That's what a notch is. Now, notches happen in the movement when you move your worm itself left to right. The aim power bar itself goes up in notches, and the aim moves in notches. And the interesting thing about this is each notch is pretty much the same distance from each other. So it's always the same. Now, notching is basically just the act of continuous notches. So notching is basically just the act of using notches. So if you do notches, like what he does, that's called notching. Pretty much all players do notches and notchings, but what counting is applying basically math to that system in order to, if you do it correctly, then you can basically hit exactly where you want, guaranteed 100% of the time. Because basically what you're doing is each notch that you go forward means that the aim for whatever wind or whatever it is that you're using will go a certain amount of distance forward. And if you have all that information, like Mablak and Barman, this was quite a famous thing that happened a while ago. Something that I got really annoyed with. But they had a chart sort of thing. They had like a graph or chart or something, information where it told you how many notches. So if you get this specific level of wind, what we call arrows. So if you look at the wind at the bottom right now, that is a 5 bar wind, right? Now if you aim if you were to aim that straight up, it would travel a certain distance. So if you move one notch to the left, it's going to go a little bit less, and each notch that you go to the left full power, it's going to go pretty much like, it's going to be predictable like this, if you know what I mean. So that's how counting sort of works. You can basically learn where to aim for each different wind of power for it to hit pretty much anywhere on the map. Because in the B&G community, counting out is a very, very, very bad thing. Like, not inherently, but everybody decided that when you play BNG that counting out your shots is something that players shouldn't do because it just completely ruins the game. At least for most people. Because it's like, what's the point in playing if you already know for a fact that you're absolutely definitely going to hit every shot? If you do counting in BNG, this only really applies to BNG, by the way. Counting, I think, is fine in any other scheme, because BNG is specifically the skill of aiming bazooka and grenade. And if you're taking human instinctual ability out of that, then you may as well just putting robots against each other. Like, it's like it just takes out the fun. What's the point if you know absolutely the only purpose for you playing is just to win? It is actually interesting to see. Oh, he was very close there, but he's got that marked down now. It is, I mean, especially for schemes like this, it is invaluable information. For Elite, for Hysteria, for Aerial, for Intermediate, for Chaos. But for BNG specifically, it's considered a bad thing by most of the community, or most of the BNG community, specifically because it just defeats the point of playing, you know? Because BNG is pretty much the only scheme where that technique basically ruins the game. Any other scheme, even Hysteria, even Aerial, there are other elements. Like the reason why it's so bad in BNG is because in BNG, worms are anchored. They can't move. So there's like no escape for it, and there's no other way to attack your opponents. Whereas in Aerial, you can move, you can use jetpack, etc. In Hysteria, you can move, you can use jetpack, etc. In all other schemes, you can move and use jetpack, etc. You know, so it's like, what's the point? I know that information, but nobody will make a tutorial for it because of how bad people consider it to be. If people want to learn it, they can basically go and learn it themselves. It's not very difficult to do. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. You just do it and you memorize the positions and stuff. This is probably going to be a draw. Wait, Mablak could actually win this pretty easily. He could get a homing missile in the middle of those two worms and kill both of them in one shot, and then he could kill the other one with a bazooka.
Chicken! Yes, sir!
So, if it wasn't for BNG, I would quite happily make a tutorial about it, and there's nothing stopping anybody else from learning it and making a tutorial, but most of the community agree that it's a bad thing to put that information out for BNG, but like, pretty much all players know, all good players, or players that have been around for a while, they know of its existence, and they all have the opportunity to learn it from themselves. But the two things that stop them from doing it is, one, is in the case of BNG anyway, one, they know it's bad in BNG, and 2, they just can't be bothered to do it. Even if there's a tutorial, it's still, they need to do the tedious task of actually learning something. I can't believe he keeps missing. It wasn't just the B2B community though, it was pretty much the whole... At the time when BNG was popular, it was most people in general. Like, everybody was... It caused so many arguments. Right, so we have a draw here. B2B is Born to BNG, which was a BNG focused community that I started many years ago with worm food. In some places it is legal. The only place where it wasn't allowed was B&G. There was nothing stopping anyone from learning it outside of B&G. The only scheme that it's ever been not allowed, and more specifically, it wasn't even illegal on TUS. It was only illegal in A2B. Right, so now we are going to do another cavern map here. But yeah, it has never ever been illegal on TUS BNG. It's just been highly frowned upon by pretty much the entire BNG community at the time. And for good reason. Ah, that would be nice if it wasn't for... Trying to find a map. Oh, that would be a nice one if there was a little bit more land on the left. Too open in the middle. I feel like that's a little bit like too closed off on the right. Yeah, it's too uneven, I think. The right side is really complex, the left side not so much. I want to find one that's a little bit more balanced than that. Now that, on the other hand... It's not my learnings, and I'm not the only person who's aware of this. They're the ones that actually done it, not me. So they're the ones that should actually be doing it if that's the case. It's not me. I'm not the president of B&G. In fact, as most people are aware, I started playing B&G by counting out and notching, etc. And it was KRD that told me, no, that's bad. But I didn't make graphs or put rulers on my screen and stuff like that, what Barman did. Right, so he wants another map. But to be honest, nobody really cares about BNG anymore anyway, so I don't really care if people share it anymore. Oops. I'm an idiot. I don't actually use counting in every BNG, and I've actually proven this. I even had Dead Code vouch for me, because I showed him exactly how I play BNG. I have my own system, and it's not the way that they do it. I mean, Old Sock, you are more than welcome to come to my house in person, and I will play with you in person and show you that I don't count out my shots. I don't have any aids on my screen. I don't have any graphs that I can look at. I don't do any of that. That was DT that done that stuff. I have proven time and time again that everything I done was exactly fair and didn't involve that.
Quickly!
I'm not the one who invented it. I know how to do it. But I'm not going to do it because I don't want to be the one that shares that information. Other people can easily do that if they want to do it. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not gatekeeping that knowledge because I'm explaining how people can do it. They just need to take the time and effort to actually do it themselves and learn it themselves. It's not rocket science. It's a very easy thing to teach yourself how to do if you take the time to do it. So it's not like I'm gatekeeping anything. If I was gatekeeping anything, I would never talk about it. I would never share any knowledge of its existence in the first place. If you want to blame anything, you can blame people for being too lazy to actually take the time and effort to learn it themselves. I've explained how it works. With that information, you can literally go and make up your own way of doing it. I'm surprised he used a mine there, but I see what he was trying to do there. He was trying to knock that... Oops. Didn't have my finger. He was trying to knock that worm over there so he could knock Abel down and get a double kill. Let's have a look just to make sure that I've recorded this properly. Yeah, they've both just used one rope and 2 worm selects each. Oh, there's lots of secrets. Lots of secrets. I mean, that happens in pretty much anything you do in life, anywhere you go in life, there are secrets.
You'll regret that. I'm dead meat.
Why is there the unbreakable thing at top? Oh, you mean that's just because it's a cavern map? I think your only options are to have the indestructible border at the top or all the way around the entire map. That's just the way the game's designed as far as I know. I don't want it out in public, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just my opinion. It's not like I'm actively trying to stop anybody else from doing it. It's just not something that I'm going to do and share personally. I mean, I am not going to go through all the effort of making things like that to teach other people something that I don't want to exist. What I'm actually looking forward to is Dead Code has announced, well, he's not announced, but he said that something that he's hoping to do is, how did he explain it again? So the way that counting out shots and notching works is because each increment of aim is exactly the same, like notching. It's like, as I've explained, it's like it's like a clock. When you look at a clock, an analog clock, ticking, it moves the same space for each second, if that makes sense. And that's how notching works. Think of the aim in Worms like a clock that goes round in a circle. That's what Worms is. And what Dead Code would like to do is he wants to make a feature for the game engine where I can't remember exactly what it was that he says, but it's increasing the frames per second or something so that notching isn't possible. Basically, the aim will change based on how long you actually hold down the key for. So it would be impossible to actually notch. And I would absolutely love that. That would make BNG great again, because it would be impossible. And I can't wait to see that actually be a possibility. When we'll ever see it, I don't know, but that would be amazing. I would love that, because I know how to aim without counting out shots and notching.
So long. Yes, sir.
Then why the hell do you promote Dario's mine videos? Because that's useful for intermediate players. And it's not something that you can exploit in BNG. And it's not an excuse, it's a reason. I'm not trying to excuse myself from anything. I'm just telling it like it is. You can talk, but it needs to be in a video. Not needs, but would be great for all Worms Armageddon players. Well, why doesn't somebody else do it then? You could do it yourself. Like I've said, it's not a difficult thing to do. It's just something that takes effort and time. And this is a game where a lot of players just aren't willing to go the extra mile to learn things. I'm not the only person that's aware of its existence or how to do it. And DT actually had all that information, so why didn't they share it? Why didn't they share it with the public? Why don't we blame them?
You had it coming. Yes, sir.
Yeah. But you've got to remember that as much as what counting does, there are a lot of things in BNG that you can't actually do with counting that way. Like, it doesn't matter how good you are at counting, it's never going to be as good as someone who just knows the scheme inside out. But the reason I don't like it specifically is because at the time anyway, there were so many players who enjoy BNG, just unaware that all these, like, they if it was information that literally every single player, anyone who ever played it had, that would be fine. But what annoyed me about it is these players who are doing it and acting like they're not, or they have an advantage over players who are not doing it, and these other players are like, oh, you're so good, and they're like, oh, thanks, and it's like, but they're not actually really good. All they're doing is reading a chart that tells them what to do, if that makes sense, you know? I'm trying to think of another way of explaining it that way. It's like,
Just you wait. Yes, sir.
to me, it's just to me, I don't like it because you're not actually doing the thing. I personally don't see the point in playing BNG if you're not actually playing it, if that makes sense. Like, what's fun? It's like, Right, so this is probably my best way of explaining it. Take counting in notches in BNG and apply it to a real life game of pool. You know, pool or snooker. Imagine if you could play snooker or pool using math. Like, there was no instinct, there was no trying to use your eyes and remembering physics and power of velocity, strength, accuracy, etc. It's basically, imagine playing pool where every single shot you done was basically done by irrefutable, unequivocal math. Like, you're not actually playing, you're not actually doing anything. It's basically a machine doing all the work for you, and it never misses. It always gets it 100% right. That's why I don't like it. In any other scheme, it's fine. Oh, that was close. Yes, because that's correct. If you aim it straight up at full power, it goes a full screen. That's not counting, that's knowing how far a shot goes aiming straight up. I'm not counting anything there. I just know that it goes the distance of a full screen aimed straight up. I'm not going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full power or 67% power or whatever power, you know? I've always said I have my own system of aiming. It's not counting though. It's like I use visual aids that are unique to myself and the way that I look at the game. If that makes sense. I don't count out anything though. I don't sit there and go, right, there's this specific distance between worms, I need to use this specific shot at this specific angle, which is pressing the button this many times. That's not how I play BNG.
You wait.
Yeah, I mean, I could if I wanted to. But why would I want to?
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't say it's a game defect. I'd say it's more of a game loophole. That's how I would or an exploit, rather. But not a defect. It was specifically designed that way. Right, anyway, let me focus on this match for a second. I've been kind of half paying attention. I just want to make sure that I've counted everything properly. So Mablak has used jetpack and low gravity. I need to add that on.
Stupid.
Used his girders, he's used all his worm select. No, he's not used any girders, he's got 2 ropes left, no worm select. And Rafka is also used as cows. Rafka, on the other hand, has used sheep, cows, worm selects, and he's got 2 ropes left. Yeah, everything looks okay. So what? That's one of the reasons why I don't want to do it. I don't want to do all that tedious work. I have never ever went as far as to actually draw stuff up, put rulers on my screen, draw tables and charts and stuff. I've never ever went that. I know I can, but I don't need to because I can do anything that someone who knows how to count does, but also so much more that they don't know how to do. So it's completely useless to me to do that anyway. And the two things that actually made me as good as I was in BNG, the aiming itself easy, it's getting the power correct, which is something that counting doesn't help you with anyway, and knowing how to adjust your shots, and also knowing the right shot rotation to use as well.
Quickly!
Is he placing that correct? Oh, he got it. Nice. Good job. Right.
Yes, sir!
He has left D very exposed though, but fortunately for him, Mablak has no worm selects left, so he can't really get to him right now. Nah. Like, Mablak knows how to do it. He knows how to do it, but he doesn't really do it very often. So he's just rusty. Back when he actually used to play BNG, he was like, it's still like, as bad as I think it is, it's still a skill. It's still something that you need to remember how to do in order to do it correctly. And he hasn't really done it in that long because he doesn't really play BNG anymore. You know, so when he actually needs to do it now, he's just doing it from memory, and he's getting it wrong a bit. Also, he wasn't notching properly. He wasn't moving it one by one by one. He was sort of doing it roughly 2 or 3 at a time.
Ow! You'll regret that! See ya!
I mean, it's laziness if it's something that they want to do. They just don't put the effort in to do it. It's not lazy if they're not interested either way. If they know about it and they're not bothered, then that's not laziness, that's just they're not interested. But if they know about it, they know how to do it, they just don't want to put in the effort. That is literally the definition of laziness, is knowing you need to do something or want to do something, you just can't be bothered doing it because it's too much effort. That's like the definition of laziness. But BNG definitely is a very, very useful and powerful skill to have in intermediate. It's all these little mechanics. If you master all these little mechanics, you can win in some really interesting ways. Would you say all the tedious work doesn't help you now? It wouldn't help me because I am so good at B&G, I am better than counting. Well, not really anymore, but I was at my peak. I constantly played against people who were counting and I beat them.
Yes, sir.
Right. What does what mean, sorry? Well, I do notch and I do use notching, but I don't count. Everybody notches and everybody's a notcher and everybody uses notching, but there are few players who actually do counting. Counting is the problem, not notching. Notching is just a fundamental aspect of the game design and physics. Mablak could be in trouble here. I've actually forgot what when you said "oh you do." What do you mean? What were we talking about? I can't even. I got distracted because I'm thinking, Mablak could actually lose this. Well, right. So I've already defined it, but I'll define it again. Right. So you're aware that a notch. Right. I'll try and explain this again. Right. A notch is what we call the movement of the smallest increment possible when changing your aim. So if you tap the spacebar, it'll move one notch. If you move it the smallest amount that you can possibly move it, that's a notch, right? So everybody notches at some point or another. So if you use that, that's called notching. There's different scales of notching, right? You can be someone who literally goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that is called notching and counting, right? Because you're counting out the notches. That's what counting is. But people do notching without even realizing what it is that they're doing because that's how the game engine works. Sometimes you just need to move your aim one at a time. And then you're like, that's not right. I need to move it a little bit more forward. So by not even realizing it sometimes, you're actually notching without realizing that you're notching. That's just the game physics.
Revenge.
Yeah, Mablak is in serious trouble here. Oh yeah, counting, like, in my opinion, counting is the thing, like, counting is the thing that is actually bad.
Quickly.
I've already explained why, but
Whoops. Yes, sir.
it's not inherently bad. I believe it is bad. It's my opinion that it is bad. That doesn't mean that everybody will agree. But I think it's bad because it just defeats the point in playing. It's not the same thing. If it was the same thing, it would be the exact same word with the exact same letters with the exact same definition. However, it's not the same thing, so they're two different words which imply two completely different things.
Get on with it. Yes, sir.
Well, no, because you can be doing notching without actually knowing the math behind what you're doing. The whole reason why counting is called counting is because you're actually counting out the notches to get to a specific aim.
Hurry up.
He could just use a kamikaze here, couldn't he? It might not reach with all that air in the middle. Mablak actually has a chance here.
Yes, sir.
Right, so hold on. They've all used... Mablak just needs to teleport up to the left right now. I think. Worm 7 is next. No. Sorry, Worm 6 is next. So he doesn't want to do that. Worm 7 will plop. Sock, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. You can use that notching by math. That's cheating. That's exactly why. Well, it's not technically cheating. It's only cheating if there's a rule against it, which there was in A2B. It's actually allowed in TUS. But yes, I think you've just clicked why I don't like it.
Yes, sir.
Everybody notches. It's impossible not to notch. At some point or another, you're going to move the aim by one notch. And by actually doing that is the act of notching. It's like, I can dance, but doing it is the act of dancing. That's the reason why the word notched, notchin, notcher, they're all just words that emphasize notch. If that person notches, they're a notcher. If he did that in the past, then he notched. If he's doing it right now, then he's notching. And if he counts that out, using a graph like how Danny explained, then they are a counter. I'm not dodging anything. I've literally replied to everything you've said. How am I dodging it? I'm sitting here saying I know everything about it. How am I dodging it? I've tried explaining it to you about 4 or 5 times now. How am I dodging it? If I was dodging it, I would ignore you. I would change the subject. I've spent this entire round, the last 27 minutes, talking about it. How is that? How is that dodging it? Fucking hell, that's funny. Oh. Oh, no.
Yes, sir.
I mean, as much as I agree morally, that doesn't actually define what is cheating. This is like wow. Rafka has actually beat Mablak.
Spider. So long.
Well.
Damn.
Right.